this particular session, we will be talking about the challenges associated with the selection like resume review, initial screening interview, analyze the application blank, conduction test and evaluating the performance, and preliminary interviews are there. So, these are the steps which we have talked earlier also in the selection model, that is the how we are going to make these particular all the right from the resume review to the preliminary interviews we will be discussing. Now, here the experience alignment for this particular with the help of case we can understand, that is the Alex is applied for a project management position at a tech startup. Her resumes list the several previous roles at larger tech companies, focusing mainly on the software development, lifecycle management and the team leadership. The job description requires experience with the agile methodologies, cross-functional team leadership and the risk management. Alex resume highlights her certification in agile and the scrum techniques and her role in the leading a software development team that successfully launched the multiple products. This directly aligns with the core job requirements, suggesting the well equipped for the positions are there. Now, does the candidate's experience align with the core requirement of the job that we will address? The another for the growth and adaptability that we see, that is Jordan has moved through the various roles within the marketing sector, starting as a marketing coordinator and progressing to a senior marketing manager over 6 years. His resume indicates a consistent track record of the taking on increased responsibilities, including the managing larger teams and the bigger budgets. His strategic input led to a 30% increase in market share for his last employer through the targeted social media campaigns. This address about the growth and opportunities, adaptability. And this progression suggests that Jordan is capable of adapting to dynamic environments and taking on leadership roles, fitting well with a company looking for the growth and scalability is there. So, here we talk about, that is the how do the candidates career progression and the past roles reflect their potential for the growth and adaptation in our company. Now, the next point of consideration with the help of the case study we will talking about, that is about the employment continuity. Samantha's resume shows a 1-year gap between two engineering positions. In her cover letter, she explains that she took this time off to care for her ailing parent and to further her education in renewable energy technologies, a field relevant to the new job she is applying for. This explanation not only justifies the gap, but also shows her dedication to personal and professional growth, aligning with the company's valuing family and the continuing learning is there. Are there any gaps in employment, and if so, has the candidate proved a reasonable explanation? Now, here when we are talking about that is the skill proficiency, the Liam's resume is well structured and detailed, showcasing his role as a team leader and later as a project manager in an IT company. He clearly outlines his role in leading a team through a critical system upgrade, managing timelines and communicating across departments to ensure alignment. He also mentions facilitating workshops for the cross-departmental communication enhancement, and these details reflect his strong communication, project management and leadership skills, essential for the management role he seeks. So, how well does the resume reflect critical skills, the community and project management and the leadership is example. Commitment to the diversity. In this, with the help of this case study of Maria's resume includes her voluntary work with a non-profit focused on increasing tech education among unprecedented groups. It also lists the participation in her previous company's diversity committee, where she helped organize a series of workshops on a cultural competency for her department. These activities suggest that Maria values and actively contributes to the diversity and inclusion, which is increasingly important in modern workplaces that prioritize social responsibility and the equitable opportunities are concerned. These address are their indications of the candidate's commitment to diversity and inclusion through their previous roles or the activities are concerned. Another dimensions we find out, that is about the motivation and contribution. During the initial screening interview, Taylor, a candidate for a digital marketing specialist positions, articulates a clear and passionate reason for her interest in the role. She mentions her keen following of the company's innovative marketing campaigns and expresses enthusiasm about the company's approach to leveraging the emerging social media platforms. Taylor outlines her previous experience in increasing the engagement rates by 40% in her last role through the targeted is there. This motivation and contribution of these it shows that it is the content strategy she confidently relates the achievements to potential contributions she could make, the demonstrating a strong alignment with the company's goal and her desire to be the part of team. This addresses the can the candidate effectively communicate why they are interested in the role and what they can contribute to the company. The technological adaptability is concerned with the help of this case study, where during his remote interview, Michael encounters a technical glitch that causes an interruption. Without missing a beat, he quickly diagnoses the issue, switches to a backup connection and rejoins the call in less than a minute. He apologizes for the inconvenience and continues answering the questions without losing the focus is there. This quick recovery and the seamless handling of the technology on not only the disruption but also impressively demonstrate his adaptability and problem solving skills in a tech driven environment is concerned. This addresses the how does the candidate handle remote interview technology and what does that say about their adaptability to tech driven work environments is concerned. Another dimensions of the industry knowledge we will discuss with the help of the case study of Emma, a candidate for a financial analyst position, is asked about her views on the impact of artificial intelligence on the financial forecasting. She provides a detailed analysis of the recent advancements in AI and machine learning, citing specific examples of how these technologies have started to platform traditional forecasting models. Emma discusses a recent project where she utilized AI-based tools to improve accuracy in the market trend predictions, showcasing her knowledge and how she applies it practically. Her response demonstrates not only her awareness of the relevant industry but trends, but how also her ability to leverage these trends for the better outcomes are concerned. So, does the candidate demonstrate the awareness of the recent industry trends that are relevant to the position? This case study becomes a very good example. Now, the soft skill assessments are concerned. So, during the interview, Chris is asked about a time when he faced a conflict in his team. He describes a situation where the differing opinion on a project's direction led to a standoff. And Chris talks about how he facilitated a series of discussions that allowed each team member to express their concerns and the ideas. By fostering the open communication and showing empathy towards his colleagues' perspective, he was able to guide the team towards a compromise that satisfies all parties. Chris' approach highlights his strong interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence and ability to maintain a positive team dynamic, reflecting qualities that are valued in the company culture. This is a very good example for the what soft skills does the candidate display that are critical for the role in our company culture. Now, the another assessment about the task management is concerned. With the help of the case study in a scenario based question, Priya is asked how she would handle a situation where she has multiple conflicting deadlines. She outlines a methodical approach, starting with assessing the urgency and importance of each task. Priya mentions using a project management tool to organize and visualize tasks and deadlines. She also discusses the importance of communicating with the stakeholders to set the realistic expectations or the negotiate extensions, if any. And this secured the approach to the prioritization, and her proactive communication strategy demonstrates her effective task management skill and her capability to navigate the high pressure situations gracefully. And this address how does the candidate prioritize and manage tasks based on their responses to hypothetical scenarios are concerned. Another dimension which we can assess about the consistency verification and reviewing the Lala's application for an IT manager's position, the HR team notices a discrepancy in the employment dates listed for her previous job as compared to her resume. And their application shows a 2-month earlier and end date at her last job than she resumed. The discrepancy promotes the HR team to follow up with the Lara during the interview. Lara explains that the later date on her resume includes the time she spent on a consulting capacity to the same company, post her formal employment period to assist with the transition to her successor. This clarification not only resolves the inconsistency, but also highlights her commitment to ensuring a smooth transition is concerned. And here we can test with the help of the understanding about does the application show any inconsistencies with the resume that need clarification. The qualification match is to be tested then with the help of the John's application for a cybersecurity analyst role, includes his educational background with a master's degree in cybersecurity and various certifications, including Certified Information System Security Professional CISSP and the Certified Ethical Hacker, that is the CH is concerned. The job requires deep knowledge of the security protocols and the risk assessment methodologies. John's qualifications align perfectly with the job requirements, indicating his readiness for the role and his commitment to continue professional development, both critical for the staying current in the rapidly evolving field of the cybersecurity is concerned. This explains to us is the how well does the applicant's educational background and certification align with the job requirements are concerned. During the review of Sarab's application for a finance director position, the HR team notes that the Sarah disclosed a previous administrative action taken against her by a professional accounting association. The issue cited was related to the non-compliance with the continuing education requirement several years ago are concerned. This disclosure prompts an in-depth discussion during the interview, where Sarah explains the circumstances and shows evidence of subsequent compliance and additional courses taken beyond the requirements. This transparency allows the HR team to assess the seriousness of the issues and her integrity in handling the situations are concerned. Are there any legal or compliance related red flags apparent from the application that can be understood with the help of this above case study? The relevance and customization, if we have to assess, then with the help of this Ben's application for a marketing executive position, it is certain have such good company in a notably tailored to highlight his relevant experiences. His cover letter discusses his passion for sustainability. Supported by examples of past marketing campaigns, he led to the eco-friendly products, and his volunteer work with the environmental NGOs are concerned. His resume is customized to showcase skill in digital marketing and the public relations, directly aligning with the job's focus on promoting the sustainable products. This tailored application not only shows his suitability for the position, but also his enthusiasm for the company's mission is concerned. Here we can easily understate to assess that is how has the candidate tailored their application to highlight relevance to the specific position. Now, when we have to test for the professional value and integrity, Anita's application for a senior legal advisor role is meticulously completed with the detailed descriptions of her roles and responsibilities. In her previous jobs, a comprehensive list of her publications in the law journal and her active participation in legal ethics committees. She includes accurate and verifiable references, and her statements are consistent across all documents submitted. These are attention to detail and the precision in her application speaks volumes about her professional values, especially her commitment to integrity and transparency, which are crucial in the legal profession. This helps us to assess what can be inferred about the candidate's professional values and integrity from the completeness and the accuracy of their application. For now, we will talk about the conducting the test and evaluating the performance is concerned. So, therefore, in that case, first the dimensions which you would like to take is the skill and competency focus. For a software engineering role at a fast-paced tech startup, the HR team designs a performance test that evaluates candidates on the specific skill crucial for the job. The test includes the coding challenges that assess technical skills in language important to the company's project such as Python and the JavaScript are concerned. Additionally, there are the problem solving tasks that require thinking through complex algorithms and the debugging exercises that simulate real world bugs. The test also includes collaborative tasks to gauge how well candidates work in teams, reflecting the collaborative nature of the company's projects. This has helped us to assess what specific skills and competencies should be test focused on to the best predict for the job performance are concerned. Now, the fairness and inclusions are to be tested to create a more inclusive testing environment for a diverse applicant pool, and intentional consulting from reserves its assessment procedure. They begin by offering the test in multiple languages to accommodate non-native English speakers. The firm also ensures that the test is accessible to the candidate with the disability by providing the adaptive technologies are concerned, such as the screen readers for the visually impaired applicants are there. Furthermore, the scenario used in the situation judgment test are designed to be the culturally neutral to avoid biases. These steps aims to provide all candidates with an equal opportunity to showcase their abilities. How can performance tests be adjusted to ensure they are fair and inclusive to the all candidates are concerned? This we can assess. The benchmarking and standards are concerned. In recurring for a project manager, a construction firm implements a structured performance test, including the project planning, budget management and the crisis resolution exercises. They establish benchmarks based on a mix of the internal historical data and the successful project outcomes of the external industry standards provided by the Project Management Institute, that is the PMI. Candidates' results are then compared to these benchmarks to determine their proficiency in a key areas. The dual reference system helps the firm maintaining high standards while ensuring that their evaluation criteria are aligned with the best practices in the construction industry as concerned. This helps to assess what benchmarks will be used to evaluate the test results and how do these compare to the industry standards are concerned. When we have to make the growth and adaptability assessment, here I would like to take a case for a leadership role in a dynamic retail environment. The HR team incorporates scenario that test adaptability and potential for growth into their assessment center activities. Candidates are given a series of unexpected business scenarios such as the sudden market shift or a public relation crisis and asked to strategize on the fly is concerned. Their responses help assess their ability to think strategically under pressure and adapt to changing circumstances. The evaluators also look for the signs of the proactive learning and curiosity, such as asking insightful questions and proposing innovative solutions as indicators of the candidate's potential for the future growth are concerned. These make assess to how well the test measures potential for the future growth and the adaptability are concerned. The technology relevance and IT security firm is hiring a cyber security analyst and decides to update its testing protocols to align with the latest industry advancements. The test includes practical tasks using the current cyber security tools and the technologies, such as the penetration testing software and the threat detection systems, so assess candidate skill in a realistic settings are concerned. Additionally, the test scenario are based on the most recent cybersecurity threats and the countermeasures, ensuring that candidates' knowledge and skills are up to date. This approach guarantees that the firm hires professionals who are equipped to handle modern security challenges effectively. These make to help us to assess are the testing methods up to the date with current technologies and professional standards are concerned. Now, we will talk about some assessments with the help of the dimensions on the issues of the preliminary interview. When we have to test the motivational insights, here the situation is like during the preliminary interview, Emily, who is applying for a product manager position, expresses her motivation for leaving her current job. She explains that while she values the experience and skills she gained, the scope for innovation and product ownership at her current company is limited. Emily is attracted to the new role because it offers a chance to lead a cross-functional teams and the drive the development is concerned of cutting the edge products in the tech industry, aligning with her passion for the technology and her desire to impact user experience at a global scale. This opportunity to grow professionally and personally is what drives her decision to seek a new position. Here we are assessing about what motivates the candidate to leave their current role for this new position. Feedback receptions are concerned. In response to a question about handling feedback, Mark recounts a specific instance from the current role as a marketing analyst, where his approach to a campaign strategy was criticized by a senior team member. He describes how he actively sought detailed feedback to understand the concern and proactively arranged a meeting to discuss alternative strategies. Mark incorporated the feedback into revising the campaign, which ultimately improved the engagement rates by over 30%. These examples illustrate the constructive approach to criticism, emphasizing his openness to learning and adaptability. Here, we are able to assess how does the candidate handle feedback or criticism based on their response to the past experience concern. When we are talking about the career alignment, here I would like to take the case study of during the core interview, Sarah, a candidate for an engineering leadership role, discusses her long-term career goals, which include advancing to a director of engineering position where she can influence product innovation and strategic decision. She aligns the ambition with the company's goals of expanding to the career alignment and R&D department and pioneering the new technologies in the renewable energy sector. Sarah's vision of fostering a culture of innovation and excellence directly supports the company's strategic direction, making her a valuable potential assets. Here we are able to assess what are the candidates' long-term career goals and how do they align with the company's direction. When we are talking about the conflict management, here the case study we take is of Lisa, a candidate for an HR manager position, shares an example from her previous job where she mediated a conflict between two departments heads who were at a impasse over the resource allocation. She facilitated a series of conflict resolution sessions that included the active listening, clarification of communication, misunderstanding and collaborative problem solving. This intervention led to a mutual agreement that parties needs and helped maintain to a positive working environment. Lisa's ability to handle delicate situations and foster cooperation is a strong testament to her conflict resolution skills. This shows about can the candidate provide examples of how they have handled workplace conflicts or concerns. The professional development approach, when we talk about to test, then during the interview, Jason, who is applying for a senior data scientist role, highlights his commitment to the continuous professional development by discussing his regular attendance at industry conferences, participation in advanced analytics workshops and completion of a recent clarification in machine learning. He emphasizes the importance of staying updated with the latest tools and techniques in data science to enhance his analytical capabilities. Jason's proactive approach not only ensures his skill remain relevant, but also demonstrates his dedication to contributing effectively to his work and staying ahead in a rapidly evolving field is concerned. This helps to assess what is the candidate's approach to continuing the professional development. This is all about what we will talk about with the help of the different case studies, what are the different issues that we can make the assessment. Thank you.